You know, rally games used to feel so consistent. There'd always be a next title coming around the corner. You'd have an update scheduled. You'd have a bit of a content roadmap, and you'd have an idea going into the foreseeable future, or at least up until the next 12 months. This all changed about a year ago. We had a very cool direction with a very cool just set of games that we had on offer, but studios changing direction. Um, Big brands and companies focusing on the wrong ideas and sets of metrics and numbers. Rally in 2026 is at a, let's just be honest, a bit of an uncertain trajectory. We don't know where we'll stand, what's going on. So I thought today, let's just go over the whole ecosystem around rally as sim racing or just rally gaming in general, and just have a chat about it to get everyone's thoughts on the matter. So let's talk about the current rally games keeping the genre alive. Now, a bit of an older game, but one that still pops up every now and then, is WRC Generations. With this game, we have strong stage design and graphics and quite immersive details. Exhaust snaps, crackles, pops, drones flying overhead, environmental atmosphere, it's all there. But the thing that lets WRC Generations down, and pretty much the entire WRC game series, is the physics and overall game feel missed the mark for many players, with it being a annual release. And you know, the biggest fear with annual releases, as we all know with any game in general, is you need more time to really sit in the mix with that game and update it, upgrade it, and listen to the player base instead of churning out a new game every 12 months just to keep up with sales and, you know, following what's going on in the real life world. In the WRC case was obviously the new style rally cars, etc. Yeah, so every time there's a new release, you get back to a game that's not, you know, not finished, not polished, and just overall upon the release is underwhelming. Let's just say that. Another game we have is EA Sports WRC. Now this was a really good game, and this is the game that actually launched me back into playing rally games in general. When this thing released, I wasn't really a rally player, but this game released, and it's what actually made me first get my wheel. So it's about 2 years ago now, give or take. With that game, honestly, how the best way I describe EA Sports WRC is it launched very strong out of the gate, and probably has the best concept package ever in a rally title. You know, we've got a massive car list in that, massive stage variety. It's just presented in a nice modern type of feel as well. The real problem is there's no future updates with the game. The player base is fading quite fast, and even the ones that are left is, to be honest, few and far between. And at this point, only the real dedicated crew are sort of hanging in there. We do get the flash and the occasional influx of new players here and there when the game is on sale and stuff like that. But, you know, with that game being axed, really put a downer on that game. And the problem with that game too was, you know, personally, I feel that game had a really good foothold in the genre, and it really could have gone places. But as we know, and if you don't know, EA Sports WRC, obviously EA Sports, they looked at the player number and the count that was coming in, and they decided, when they compare it to their bigger games, which is obviously, you know, EA Sports, you know, FC, you know, the bigger titles like that, the numbers are just not comparable. And as we know, rally games and rally players as we are, we're a small group of people that enjoy the game. But the thing that they just didn't understand is we're a dedicated bunch, you know. So if you can keep feeding us content, we'll be there each drop, each freaking new stage, each new car. We're there, we're ready for it. That's the biggest problem. They looked at one side of the category, which is their biggest performers, looked at rally, and they axed it. And by doing that, actually bought out Codemasters as well, which Codemasters, as you guys know, have been on board for pretty much every rally game that's been decent. No offense, Nacon and all that sort of stuff, but you know, Code is the OG. Yeah, shutting down their factory, and with that, obviously shutting down production, which was rumored to be and looked pretty positive, was a Dirt Rally 3.0. So yeah, that's not good. Another game we have at the moment going, well, let's talk about it anyway. Assetto Corsa Rally. This brought in a new hope for the hardcore PC sim rally. Though it is scheduled, or apparently talked about being released to console, we have no date of that. And unfortunately, how that is, there is just not much information about that. As Assetto Corsa notoriously has been, it's pretty hush-hush. The game even releasing was such a shock to everyone, we had no idea. And especially with Assetto Corsa Evo in production still and getting content rolled out, fans weren't happy about that. But Assetto Corsa Rally, pretty much, it's got a pretty good physics ambition, the way it wants to go. It's not quite there. I personally believe it was overhyped to the absolute buggery. But you know, with the lack of rally games, that's why it got such a good footing at the start and kicked off hard. But yeah, with that, obviously it's still in the beta version, so we have some limitations there, which is only a very small content pool, very, very small, honestly. Like 2 main stages really that are broken up into sections, like we see of rally, which is cool, it's fun, and a single snow circuit which you can do in under 40 seconds. So not much going on there. The physics for that game, well, don't listen to the hype. I'll be straight up with you. It's just not quite there, you know. It's a very good initial step in the direction that they want to go, but as it is right now, there is still there's a long ways to go. Like, the whole feeling for that game is, I'll be honest, is very vague. No matter what your tuning setup is, you know, no matter what people say, it's just very vague. Especially when you land or the car gets a bit unsettled, it just gets a very almost like pogo springy effect with it, where it just is not realistic at all. That doesn't really soak up a bump or jump, it just sort of springboards off. Which obviously, if you ever played any sort of Assetto Corsa modded stuff like that, that is how they do their dirt stuff. They nail the asphalt and road racing aspect, but the dirt stuff is yeah, it's so-so, let's be honest. You know, there's a lot of things going on with that game, but overall game feel for that one isn't quite there, though the graphics, the noises, and the aspect around it, it's all looking really good, so I'm actually quietly positive for that. But obviously, being, you know, PC only at this point, it's pretty limited to who can even play that game. Then we have Dirt Rally 2.0, the old king still standing. My favorite game, honestly. Why is it my favorite game? Well, they nailed the car noises, boys. You got to agree. They sound fantastic. I don't care what other rally game there is, mate. They don't compare to the rally noises this creates. It's just amazing. The handling on that, very satisfying. It's not true sim, as you guys know. You know, it's not that. It's more of an arcade-ish type of game. Sort of with sim aspects to it. Not a hardcore rally sim at all, but just very, very good. The feedback that it does provide back through the wheel, very clear, very understanding how you interpret it, and you could even butcher your settings still and still put in a very good lap with that game. That's what's really cool. The stage flow in that game, man, they are probably some of the best stages I've played in a rally game. They feel just the detail in the stages, you know. That's one thing I see with EA Sports WRC, the lack of detail in the stage. With the exempt of the last update on that game, which was, we have a new stage in Greece, and the one before that was a couple of Monte Carlo stages. The detail on those were very nice, but overall that game feels just a bit bland, and the track detail, you know, the bumps and jumps like that, there's just not much detail in terms of rutted surfaces and like inside cambered lines. And you know, if you just play a couple of stages on Dirt Rally 2.0, you'll understand what I mean. It's just a lot more in there. And the overall feel for Dirt Rally 2.0 just feels complete, polished. You know, it is a solid game. And where they left it, they didn't even need to do anything more to it. Though fans, myself included, wanted more. They left it in such a good place. You don't need to really touch it. Really, really good game. It's a 2019 game, and it's still, I found, the benchmark for 2026. So take that how you want to take that, but yeah. Then obviously another one is the OG, the GOAT of rally physics, the most true to life rally feeling game ever made, apparently, and that is RBR, Richard Burns Rally. But I can tell you what, it isn't perfect. That's the problem. Landings from bumps and jumps can feel springy, unnatural, and the biggest barrier for RBR is obviously it's PC only. The probably most insane amount of mods you can actually just get when you just first work out how to even download and install the game. But that is the biggest point with that game, and what actually stopped me from playing it for a long time too. The actual just whole setup and installation through torrent files, and very overwhelming, especially if you're new to PC. It's like, my god, I don't even understand what's going on. My best advice for that is trying to search some good YouTube videos like that. I'll link one in the description below that I personally used if you want to try RBR for yourself. If I forget to put it there, just leave a comment and I'll find it and go back to it. I know exactly the one, I just can't picture the freaking name right now. But another one for that is, it's very, for newcomers, so overwhelming, but the VR in that game, very, very nice. Surprisingly nice, and I quite enjoy it. I actually find it better in VR to play than a flat screen, mostly due to, well, let's be honest, the graphics in that game, unless the newest sort of ported stages, whatever, the newest DLCs or whatever you want to call it, they're mostly potato graphics, which is, you know, as rally games, we obviously do pride and put forward game feel, game physics, and game sounds first. Secondary is obviously the graphics. It is what it is as rally players. You know, we want the more realistic feel, but unfortunately, it is just a lot of potato-ish stuff going on with that game. So for some people, it's very hard to look past that, and that's why it can get dismissed so quickly. So with all this said and done, why have I nearly put 2 years now into creating rally content? Well, I started on a whim. That was the thing for me. When I was a young fella, I still have vivid memories right now of playing the Colin McRae rally titles with my dad, and that was on a PS1 controller. You know, we didn't even have freaking sticks at that point. It was D-pad. So tap, 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 left, 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 tap right. You get the picture. I really feel old at this point, to be honest with you. But you know what? My channel slowly, steadily grew. Anyway, because I feel like the passion that I can put forward into the stuff I do and just my overall love for the rally, I can sort of resonate with the dedicated rally crew. So, you know, it's the dedicated fans of the rally genre that keep the thing alive, and we are few and far between, but damn, when we unite together, you know, it's just a thing of beauty, let's just say that. But are rally gamers really doomed, or are we just waiting? Well, there's a few things I could say on that. We don't really have any major releases for this year. Unfortunately, 2026 is a bit of a dull moment in the sport. But we do have Assetto Corsa Rally apparently implementing new stages. But the problem with Assetto Corsa Rally stuff is it all being LiDAR scanned. Now, for you guys that don't know, the tracks and the cars that they do, they actually need to have them physically in the studio. And the way that they put such great detail in that is they actually 3D scan the car to be able to release it on the game. They want a really accurate representation. That's the whole core of Assetto Corsa's Rally. Is just theme behind the gaming. They want it very true. The same goes for their rally stages. They actually go and drive the stage with scanning equipment to try and get an accurate representation of what the stage truly is. And due to that very massive, extensive amount of work, that right there is a lot of time and a lot of stuff going on to get anything back into the game. So that is the biggest bugbear I have with Assetto Corsa Rally. We have really the hardcore Sims fans left, and you know what? It is hard, you know, unless you're really into the content, really into the rally content, and you have a passion for it, and you're not trying to just milk views and stuff like that. You know, you're not going to survive in this world of YouTube and content. You know, like I said before, I just genuinely love the rally stuff, so I have no issue just plodding along at my own pace. I'm not trying to prove it to anyone. Anything you see from me that I post or create or whatever, it's me having fun when I'm doing it. You know, I don't treat it like a job or anything like that. It's my passion, and that is the only thing that keeps us rally guys together and united. So with that, they're the options and the titles that I've put forward. You know, the big disconnect we have there is a lot of these, well, some of these are PC only exclusives, some are on console as well. And me being a console rally player, when I started this journey, I only had Dirt Rally 2.0, WRC Generations, and obviously freaking Dirt Rally 2.0. PC changed the game because there's another added rally game we can put forward into this, but it's just not quite there yet. But it does have very, very strong protection. It does have very, very strong how would you even explain it? Like, it's the bare bones is there, but it's not quite there, and that is of course, well, hey, it's BeamNG. You know, a bit of an unlikely one maybe for you guys who weren't really look into the BeamNG sphere. If you're a PC player, you know you would, but obviously as a console player, you were not too sure. They have rally modes in that game. Now they're not quite polished, whatever, but as a bare bones structure, they're quite fun. The handling isn't great. You know, I'll be honest with you, it's not truly realistic or anything like that. It is pretty bloody good for a muck around, but you know, you're not going to sink a serious amount of hours into that. But BeamNG did nail one thing of that game, is a game's first for rally is a complete rally style event. And I'm talking starting at the pits, coming out of the pits, going to the timekeeper, getting a slip, continuing on down public roads to get to the start of a stage. So you're actually transiting in between stages. This is a world first for any rally content game or rally game in general. Obviously that isn't a thing. And then you continue on to each stage by using the public transport options on the roads, highways, whatever it is, how you get there. You know, it's realistic. So the whole thing is an event which takes about 45 minutes of memory, somewhere around there. I'm not too sure now, but you know, it's a world's first that I really enjoyed. So, but obviously PC only. So the disconnect is there. You've got the console and you've got the PC. And you know, I did switch to PC. It really was a massive switch for me because the content that's available once you have PC is everything. But obviously the barrier to entry for PC cost is quite high. But that's only as high as you need it to be. You can get a pretty good experience in rally games with a pretty basic PC. Let's be honest, you don't need the U-Butte freaking, you know, Lamborghini spec edition, whatever, blah blah blah. You can get by with a decent thing. So anyway, this has just been a bit of a video, just a bit of a talking point for 2026. I'd love to know your thoughts, what you think of anything I've said, anything you'd like to add in for 2026. And yeah, just we're in a bit of a rough spot, you know. The next WRC game, how the license got stuck with EA Sports WRC, that doesn't come until 2027. So at the very least, it's 2027 before we get an actual proper, full released rally game. And at the moment, it's the old school stuff that's getting us by, with maybe the hope of Assetto Corsa Rally coming to console. But I'll be straight up with you guys, I don't see it coming, and even if it does, it's going to be very late in 2026, if not early 27. So with that, have a good day, good night, good afternoon, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Cheers, boys.
Estimate in this game visually.
Flat right.
50.
Over crest.
So it's just a game
Keep left.
Timing
150.
Jump. And 4 left. Tightens.
This is day 2 of
5 right. Long.
Richard Burns Rally Journey 2, by the way, guys. So
6 left.
hopefully I'm
150.
not boring to watch, because I feel like I'm very
Flat
slow.
left. Long. Into. 6 right. And caution. Flat left. Tightens. 4 left. Narrows.
30.
6 right. Twisty.
150.
Keep right. Flat left. Over crest.
50.
Flat left. 6 right. Long.
150.
Flat right. Bump. Keep right. 4.
70.
Square right. Narrows. Bump.
70.
6 right. Over crest.
70.
Over crest. 5 left. And don't cut. 6 right. Tightens. Flat left.